Good Tuesday morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and throttle up and get airborne for our primary live trade brief. Everybody good? We're just like in an NVIDIA holding pattern right now. We're going to debrief all this stuff. Besant yesterday with Operation Economic Outlaw, whatever it was called. And then the Fed on Fed chairman. I think I said in the email, Powell. My apologies, it's Warsh. Obviously, I think I said Warsh in the video, but Powell in the email. So, any admin items? Everybody good? Oh, I sent out. We're going to cover this because we're going to talk about NVIDIA. Obviously, I just sent out this morning a tactical trade alert. It is posted over in the tactical trade alert member thread right here. So Tactical Trade Alert is posted right there. You can obviously download it from that, or you can grab it from the member area, Tactical Trade Alerts. Click right there and view reports, and it's the first one up there. So we're gonna talk about this in a couple minutes. A little pop out of NVIDIA, a little pop out of the market, and then it just sold off. I was looking at maybe even firing a bear call spread here into that opening shot. Okay, let's go ahead and step through our brief. This Jesse Waters kind of miffed on this interview with Al Saeed or whatever. So there are over, I think 200. I mean, there's this imam that's like, yeah, we're pushing as many Muslims to elected office in the country as we can, man. They have this vision of the future. I'm absolutely stunned. Now, if you're sitting there like, well, Wiz, you have your own church. I 1,000% believe in religious freedom to a point, right? The instant that your religion leaves your lane and goes into somebody else's, like, oh, wait, let me peek over here. You don't believe in what we believe over here? I can cut your head off. We're going to have a problem. We're going to have a huge problem. Benjamin, get my musket. And I personally believe that Islam is not a religion. It is a death cult. It's a political system, right? They have law. Look at like Sharia law in Dearborn, Michigan. We have Sharia cops. We have this in Texas. What? Did you see Joe Biden or Nancy Pelosi? Like Catholic canon law should be the law in this city. So when your religion turns into a set of laws and us, it's not a religion anymore. It's a political system. So you know, it's just an absolute disgrace. I mean, you guys know what I did on the morning of September 11th, and smoking Holy Ground Zero, never forget. We clearly have forgotten. So it's so funny because Wiz, well, not all Muslims this. Anytime something bad happens, Allah Akbar, and things blow up, or you never see prominent Muslim clerics out there condemning anything, man. So don't give me the, man, this is in a bad place. Who was it? Adams? Jefferson. Man, where are my Marine buddies? You're going to kill me. We sent the Marines, the United States Navy and the Marines where? To the shores of Tripoli, right? You know the Marine Corps hymn? Man, back in the day, who was it? Benjamin Franklin, like, bumped into was talking to the Muslim, whatever, attache in France or whatever. Like, why are you killing us? Well, because we're allowed to. You don't believe in what we believe in. So I like you, Benjamin, but we can kill you. Excuse me? And I remember the Crusades. So, folks, this is, I mean, it's just all part of the plan. Yeah, and as a military man, good on you. We're just stupid. I mean, you're taking advantage of it. You invaded Europe, the radical Islamic Republic of the United Kingdom. But this is in America now, folks, and they're running for office, these Manchurian candidates. Thank God for the Second Amendment, though, man. All those knife attacks and everything in England or wherever. And man, But look at Texas. Texas has fallen. These massive 400 acre, Islam complex and everything like that. The call to prayer in these cities 5 times a day, like at dawn. I mean, uh, man, if the church bells were ringing 5 times a day, I'd be complaining. So don't give me the, oh, it's this. Anyway, what's that have to do with trading, Wiz? No wonder that guy, Allen, whatever, sent you shut up and trade. Man, I am, this is trading. This has everything to do with the fall election. These people getting into office, these Democrats, socialists. This guy campaigns with Hassan Piker, who is, we deserve 9/11. He's, first of all, he's an immigrant. And second of all, he hates this country. These people hate the United States. You look at the idiot running New York City and free grocery stores. Well, they're not free. And it's just, man, we're in a bad place. We're in a very bad place in this country. And it's going to get worse in the fall if they take one or both houses. So get ready for it, man. I did this yesterday in Solo AI. So if you're not a Solo AI member, you suck. But the cliff notes are this: they take the House, it's going to suck. Shit show. They take the Senate, there'll be impeachment proceedings. So they'll convict him in the House, they'll impeach him. The trial will be in the Senate. He won't probably. There'll be enough Fettermans, like not nut Democrats, who won't vote to impeach. How do you think the market's going to react to Elon Musk being dragged in front of, Senator Warren's Senate Finance Committee? The stock will be destroyed. So this is coming. And if you don't believe me, like trade the exact opposite, right? So, it's just gonna it's just gonna be bad. Senator, majority leader, Chuck Schumer again, or Hakeem Jeffries. Even one house, folks, is going to be an absolute nightmare. So the last 2 years of Trump's presidency will be an absolute horror. Uh, the only good out of that is the Democrats will completely goon it up for 2 years. It'll remind the American people, like, oh my God, that's right. And don't believe them, folks. The AOCs now, right? Oh, woke 1.0 was just, it was a little too much. We're not that anymore. Okay, man. Can dudes have babies and should they be able to beat the hell out of women in sports? Well, that you're still nuts. Okay. I say, the Bill Maher's of the world, he's an arsonist. I love when arsonists try and become firefighters. It makes me ill. I told you, Bill, this was going to happen. So nice job trying to fight the fire now, but it's a little too late. You went big tent, and now they're in the tent, man. So anyway, yeah, Rick. So folks, when this is what I do. I'm your flight instructor. You can do with my briefing what you see fit, but be very careful. I don't know if I'm going to exit my bullish on America trade before the election, but we get a pullback. You add to it maybe, or you throw a new one on because we got the D32s out there or something like that. But I am briefing you. And remember, folks, at Top Gun Options, I'm Eeyore, man. You have to be Eeyore. If I just brief sunshine, lollipops, and unicorns all the time, we'd get wiped out. I like being pleasantly surprised. Hey, Wiz, you were wrong about that horrible prediction. Oh, boo. Yay. I love being wrong when it sucks to be right. How about that? So, anyway, just thought I'd start with that because that real clear politics thing was. I knew this was going on, but to read everywhere that this is going on is absolutely insane. The suicidal empathy of a white liberal Catwoman is going to get us all killed. I mean, thank God they're not reproducing though, and maybe they'll wean themselves out. But man, we're in a bad place. Maybe after 2 years of a horror in this country, the last 2 years of his presidency and Democrats running Washington, that's when a Marco Rubio or a JD Vance just walks in like, here we go again with this cycle. Trump won, mumbles McShitty pants. Oh my God, this is awful. Trainings on beer cans and DEI and, Afghanistan surrenders. Okay, Trump too. And then we get to see a little bit of Democrats. But Trump stepping on his own rake and hitting him in the face. Here we go, fighting with Canada again. This is the op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. I mean, they don't like any of this stuff anyway. They don't like Trump to begin with. But here we go. Carney not backing down. The Trump. You wake up this morning. I don't even think Trump sleeps, but the new I'm going to rename Lake Erie Lake America or something like that, since we're not going to be doing trade with Canada. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. I get it. Um, you know, so here we are with trade war with Canada. I like fair, man. I don't like being the rich older brother that's been taken advantage of by siblings all around the globe. And then when you kind of rein it in a little bit, you're the bad guy, right? That's why you don't do it. You go to a national park, what does the sign say? Don't feed the animals, man, because they get dependent on that and they won't learn to hunt on their own. And then they're going to attack you. So, welcome to that. So, let's get into Besant. Operation Economic Outcast. Outlaw was close enough, wasn't I? This is embarrassing. I mean, Besant's a nice guy and he gave kind of a good brief 6 months in. 6 months in. What are we doing here? So the president obviously is not a military man. He went to a military high school. Yeah. So what are you doing? You guys know, I know General Kane. I know Raisin very well. This is not how I, knowing Raisin, how many he and I have planned together, presented this. Mr. President, pick up a bat and smash their skulls in. And if their arms are twitching that they might have signs of life, smash their hands with everything. This half pregnant warfare is an absolute, I can't say joke because it's deadly serious. This is embarrassing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, who is the number one person people, country, that should be targeted in this? Say it with me. Say it exactly how the president would say it. China. U.S. squeezes Iran, but avoids targeting its biggest lifeline. Now, Xi's coming here, right? Where is it? They got a big end of this? No, it's next month, whenever it is. I don't know if he's coming to Mar-a-Lago, D.C., what's going on. I don't think President Trump's going to China. He already met him. So, folks, are you prepping the battlefield? And I love all the Trump sycophants. You're an idiot, Wiz. He's playing 8-dimensional, not 5-dimensional chess anymore. It's, okay, great. Besant fires the opening salvos right now, and then a couple weeks from now, Trump's gonna talk to Xi in person. With great relationship with Xi, great guy, great backswing. Loves the shrimp at Mar-a-Lago when I DJ. I hate when people who have never served in the military use the term warfare. This ain't economic warfare. And you guys know I laugh when Biden would do it, or Trump, the first and second, would do it. Today, we're announcing the harshest sanctions ever. I thought you said that last month. No, these are super harsher sanctions. What are you doing, man? So this is cowardly. I don't, and of course China's like, oh, this is an outrage that you would, even think about doing anything like that. Man, Iran relies on China to buy most of its oil. Beijing, in turn, has established an elaborate system to move. They go to Malaysia, Indonesia, these tankers, they offload into this, and the mouse eats the cheese, and we don't know how. Man, I love this sentence. The rhetoric was ferocious, but the punch less so. Dealing a crippling blow to Iran's economy would probably require taking on big Chinese firms and banks. What the actual fuck are you waiting for, Mr. President? This is why I won't get a call from the White House to be a secretary of something, because I just don't. Whatever. This does look like, and you can read this on your own, but folks, this does look, last week he's like, I ordered the Secretary of War to stop the South Korea US war games. I love cream of some young guy. Great guy. We have a great relationship. So you're buddies with Kim Jong-un and you're buddies with Xi, and then you hammer Canada. Sometimes we treat our allies worse than we treat our enemies. Why are you cozying up, right? He's kind of shied away from Putin a little bit recently. Obviously, hey, Zelensky might be winning this thing. Now I'm a Zelensky guy. Okay. Well, you were kind of a Putin guy for a while there too. So I don't get, let me give you the summary. I I just gave you the summary. That guy, I watched that whole thing and sat here and said, awesome. You didn't even do anything though. The words mean nothing. So this means nothing. A lot of smoke, fire. I mean, I haven't looked at this in a long time. Let's go look at it. FXI. We used to trade the hell out of this in the EWJ. If you're new, what's the FXI? It's the iShares China large cap ETF. It's the best shrimper vehicle for eating cocktail sauce. The FXI is a vehicle for eating China. Things let me go with all. There it is. Look at that. This was their financial crisis. Look at their 2008. Wow. But kind of a heart rate monitor. Really haven't seen too much out of the FXI of late. But when Besson spoke yesterday, I'm like, oh, let me go look at some of the China stocks. They don't care either because nothing's going to happen. Somebody just said that. You're exactly right. I said this 3 months ago. Take Carg Island. Take it. He keeps saying these type of things like, I'm going to declare the Strait of Hormuz, it's U.S. territory. Nobody does U.S. territory better than me, believe me. So we own Carg Island. 90% of Iran's oil goes through that island. I had flown it. I haven't flown over it. It's Iranian airspace. I've been targeted by IHawk missiles on Carg Island, trying to land aboard the Kitty Hawk and the Lincoln. Long story. It's in my book. So anyway, why am I taking so much time on this? Because I thought that was going to be a lot bigger than it was. So did the market, right? We saw it yesterday. Like, let's the Operation Epic, outcast, nothing burger. So anyway, yes, we could sink Carg Island like that idiot congressman thought that Guam would sink the island. So I'm a Besant guy, but I'm buying some puts. Last week, and what did he say yesterday or whenever? He's like, oh, we're going to use the general purpose fund of the United States government to start buying some treasuries. Nothing like just trying to stabilize the bond market and juice the stock market with our own money. I so if you're getting this feeling from me, welcome to Sept Oct. Welcome to the September October shit show. Everybody drop the kids off at school or they're back in school. Let's start paying attention to what's going on in the markets and in the world. Holy crap, it sucks. So nothing yesterday out of Besant. What's it? 10 years at 466. I don't know what the 30 years at. Um, I don't know, man. I am not feeling good about the fall. Now, you guys know me. I feel great about the fall because I'll print money. If it's a bloodbath, we prefer a bloodbath at Top Gun Options because we can make money off it. My long-term bullish positions will get hammered. You add to them. You take the profits from bearish double verticals or bearish positions and roll them into your longs. Otherwise, get out of the longs. I'm not in a long right now. In most of my portfolios, couple dogs in the AI, but most of my solid longs I'd add to, right? Your Raytheons, your JP Morgans, your CBOE, Amazons, the solid names you add to. But man, we're in a bad place, folks. Friday, Warsh at Jackson Hole, 10 a.m. the Beautiful People Conference with all their, North Face vests on. I've worn a vest since I was like a kid, right? Uh, you don't want your arms to be more, just your shell. I don't get vests. Or Patagonia or whatever they're called. Uh, it'll be a big one, but maybe I'm wrong about this week. Maybe only thing that everybody cares about is NVIDIA earnings. Why? It's the bottom card in a house of cards. Look at this headline, right? And this is this morning. I was up at 5, so when this came out at 5:30, I'm drinking my coffee. NVIDIA has become a banker to the AI boom. What? Putting it on dangerous ground. It is in, this article is in. I'm like, oh man, this is perfect timing because I'm adding this to my tactical trade alert. Ladies and gentlemen, growing financial obligations could compound the pain of a downturn. Oh, Scott, I saw the pictures you posted. Lots of old guys in vests, right? Yeah, khaki pants, you know. Uh, my daughter, I bought some Skechers slip-ons the other day. She called them sugar shoes. Like, uh, I'm like, thank you, Keely Grace. You wearing your sugar shoes? Something with, what was it? Like, I don't know, whatever. Um, so, folks, sit up straight. If you've ignored everything for the past 21 minutes, this is huge. So, their current position is rock solid, to say the least. But the financial engineering it is using to keep revenue growing introduces risks that could eventually cause real pain. We're 4 years into this, folks. Remember in 2022, you know, remember in 2022, the Joe Biden bear market from January to October, 25% down in the S&P 500. Do you remember Kitty Cat or whatever his name was with AMC and we had NFTs going on. Remember? Well, you just don't get them. Some dude paid $1 million for a JPEG of an ape. Yeah, and you're an idiot. Okay. Um, remember all that in 2022? So AI started coming out. We had the metaverse. Jim Cramer interviewing Mark Zuckerberg in the metaverse is like a weeblo with no legs. And what? Yeah, I wasted $70 billion on the metaverse, but that's okay. I'm like, how many times did I tell you this? Like, so let me get this straight. You sit on your couch, you put goggles on, and you can go into like a virtual bar. So you get fatter and what? Eating Cheetos? There's somebody who made something called the universe where you can go outside and get fresh air. You can actually go to a real bar and meet people. Oh, you idiot, Wiz. You just never understand things. Okay, dude. Yeah, the banana on the wall down at Art Basel. Basil. Not the spice. So, folks, read this. It's in your tactical trade alert. The deals I've talked about and the all this stuff going on. I just talked about this the other day, what they did, and this is bad. Well, it's here's your whiz brilliant piece of nugget. It's great until it isn't. Right? Just like with trading options, people are like, oh, you're an options trader. I hear they're really dangerous, because of leverage. Leverage is awful and it's great. Duh. I mean, I can't stand stupid people. Right? So it's awesome until it's not. So everything's great until it isn't. So read this. It's in your report. I just when you see headlines like this, man, you just gotta. You've been briefed, right? A few good men. I need you to acknowledge that the Judge Advocate General has advised you that accusing a senior Marine officer of misconduct is blah. Okay, good. Wall Street is counting on NVIDIA to keep the AI party going. So NVIDIA's the banker and everything. NVIDIA's results could send shockwaves through the tech sector and the broader market. Whoa. That's a lot of responsibility for a single company. Never, I'm not going to say never, but AIG, yes. AIG, man, I'm old. 2008. You guys remember Hank Greenberg? AI, whatever. Is that still a company? AIG. That was essentially the financial ground zero of the global financial crisis in 2008. I was about to say, I can't remember a time in my 30 plus years of doing this where one company was the bottom card in the house of cards. AIG. It's in my book. So, it's NVIDIA now. One more time. If it's great, it's great. If it sucks, it's going to suck. So add that to everything going on. If they don't, yeah, exactly. You're a lousy softball player, Jack. So anyway, uh, if Nvidia knocks the cover off the ball tomorrow after market close, the party keeps going. All parties. Abraham Lincoln tells the story of a Ema or whoever that said, told his smartest men in the kingdom, go find me something that will always be true. And they scoured the kingdom and they came up with a sentence that said, this too shall pass, or something like that. Meaning the party will end, we'll make money when it ends. This headline isn't good either. Anthropic's best AI model struggles to attract users as cheaper tools thrive. Race to the bottom, airline analogy, insert here. I'm not going to give you this again. You should join Solo AI. But folks, this is, did you see the interview with him yesterday? He was like, or whenever it was, like, yeah, I kind of overstated where I was with everything, you know, our financial position and stuff like that. So I tried Fable 5 for about a month, kept getting hit with bills, and I'm like, nope, done. Here's all the other models down here. I'm hanging in the Opus and I'm cheap. I get an invoice for like 10 bucks and I'm like, it's an outrage, even though I got rid of my techies and marketing and stuff like that. So um, I don't know, man. You guys know me. I'm usually surgical with this stuff. When I'm feeling it, it's usually good or bad. Already covered this, but you know, kind of the how a lot of these companies are hiding a lot of, not hiding. Why big tech's AI spending is 3 trillion higher than it seems. Exactly. Massive spending commitments for data center leases and chips aren't shown on the company's balance sheets. I don't know how you get away with that. Why wouldn't it be shown on the balance sheet? Already talked about this. That's for the fall. Man, oh, here it is. I'm sorry. This needs to move over one. The Great Walk Back. Sam Altman admits he was wrong on AI's economic timeline. He's one of the heads of the five families. Yeah, he is. He said all this stuff about AI. Uh-huh. And now he's saying he was wrong on one of his biggest things. Whoa. Remember years ago, AI is going to be great. It's going to make you more productive and life's going to be great. You'll work 1 day a week. Years later, you're probably going to get fired and get replaced. So when you have, um, you know, one of the heads of the five families saying something like this, it makes me sit up and go, I love that image. Pop, the AI hand popping. Wow. The AI stock market bubble is close to 80 trillion, about 2.5 times larger than the dot-com bubble. To give you an idea of the scale of this bubble, if the stock market were to crash back to long-term averages, revert to its mean, it would be the equivalent of about 300 grand loss per household. So folks, when you look at my bullish on America reports, I got the, you know, ultra bull, the base, and the bear. That would be the bear down at the bottom, man, if we get something like that. Do not say you have not been warned. Yeah, Brianna. Yep, Brianna's always on call. All right, so here we go, man. Let's go ahead and we'll ripple. Let me start with NVIDIA, and then we'll ripple through JP Morgan, CBOE, Raytheon. The Raytheon Tomahawk deal, 20, whatever, over 20 billion. Uh, One more time, I'm going to remind you, man, you buy a stock that it keeps having blowout earnings, keeps raising guidance, and keeps has a government, you know, a blank check, essentially, Raytheon, the defense companies. I have a call today at 3 with some Lockheed Martin things that, well, we'll see how the call goes, but I'm part of, well, I said I still need to be able to trade things. So we'll talk about that. Did I update this? This is 825. Okay, good. 35,000 215s. And it's in your report, folks. Wow, 230s. Let's go look. Everybody in Tactical Trade Alerts, get this report. Everybody download it. Everybody good. We can step through it. I'm not going to sit here and read it. You can go read it, but let me give you the bluff. So this is, whoa, there's a big candle down. Something's going on. What was that? SPX. A massive candle. Man, I was like, fire bear call spread today. Look at that red candle. Let me bring up NVIDIA though. So not a good looking chart here. 6 day, well, let's open it up. But 6 straight lower closes. Its longest losing streak since 2022, right? So all analysts covering NVIDIA rated a buy with an average target of 301, about 40%, obviously above the close. Yet the stock has closed lower the day after each of its last 4 reports and 5 of its last 6, despite beating EPS in 18 of the last 20 quarters. Are you listening to me? The street loves the company, but keeps selling on the news, right? So I don't guess into a binary event. We sell the fear. The options market is overpricing inside a structure where our max loss is known and capped before the order is sent. Okay. So here's the pattern. I just go back 4 quarters. I mean, you can go back. You can go back to the first NVIDIA earnings report. It doesn't make sense. I stay fresh. 4 is my rule of thumb. Okay. 4 consecutive quarters, 4 earnings beats, 4 lower closes the next session. And not one of them exceeded. My buddy JJ Kinahan, he was up early because he was on like the 5 or the 6 o'clock hour. JJ, man, he went to like Thinkorswim for a while. Then he went to like TD Ameritrade. Now he's at the CBOE. So he's your typical Irish Chicago options trader. He and I used to do the options cocktail together. Great guy. Anyway, everything JJ said, I'm like, dude, are you a Tactical Trade Alerts member? So none of them in the recent NVIDIA earnings history have beat they've all stayed within the expected move by a lot, right? 4 straight beats, 4 lower closes, everyone inside the at the money straddle. So, and you can read, I said I'm not going to read this, I'm not going to do it, but there's some good stuff in here. What the street needs Wednesday, right? And you can see it right there. We need solid up and to the right. If it's a sneeze, if it's in line, it's probably bad. If it's a miss, it's awful, right? So that's why I wrote this. Why a beat alone may not be enough. So, and then the thread board. I just briefed you on this. You can read it for people who can't join the live trade briefs. That's why we have Tactical Trade Alerts. I just said all this. The banker, the AI boom, keep the AI party going, and the alternative to AI. It's in the report. You can click on the links. It'll take you to the free article on the Wall Street Journal. So here's what's funny. A leaked internal meeting this month showed Jensen calling NVIDIA's position a no-win situation on the bubble question. Criticized if CapEx slows, criticized if it does not. Publicly, he holds the line. AI is incredibly profitable and the boom is far from a bubble. Hmm. More revealing signal is NVIDIA's stake in Cloverleaf Infrastructure, a data center sitting uh, and power developer. Management now sees electricity, not silicon, as the binding constraint. Listen for power and sitting language on the call. It is a better read on real demand than another round of, hey, we're not in a bubble type of stuff. So here's all the stuff we're going to go look at right now, but the at the money straddle and all sorts of stuff like that. And we'll go look at the chart and the trade. Um, 7-step trade plan, blah, blah, blah. All right. So again, that's in the tactical trade alert, but 35,000 of 15. I would look at, and let's bring this up. I mean, I think I did it in one of these last time, and it was a max profit. So 195, ladies and gentlemen, is the 200-day moving average. Right? There it is right there, the red. 195 is the 200-day moving average. We've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're taking a breather today. The day before earnings, we're in a hover, right? And look at where we are. You're all about to say it with me, aren't you? There's no life. We hovered for a bit at the 20. Then what did we do? We slammed to the 50. There is no life in here. We're currently living in here, Wiz, exactly, which means there will be a violent move up or a violent move down. Let's go see what the at the money straddle is pricing in right now out to Friday. We're at 211.50, which of course sucks because there is a 210 and a 212 and a half. So this will not be an accurate at the money straddle. We're kind of fading a little bit. Let's just use 210, folks. I love when the straddle is when I got a price rate at a strike, and it happens. But AUG 28 and the pricing went away. Let's just go to 10. Thank you for sucking E-Trade technology. 210. 12 and 12 is 24. Yeah, I mean, my report said 12 to 15. So let's start writing. 222 and a half. 197 and a half. I think there's a strike down there. So, hang on a second. Okay. Somebody in my mastermind group asking about this iron condor, which is funny. All right, so let's start building. Before I build, what am I going to say right now? Trading earnings is gambling. 100% gambling. Do you know how many times I've seen people get the earnings right, like this, and this, and I still lost money. The stock did this or did that. Absolute coin flip. Absolute coin flip. Popcorn. If you're not a gambler, do some popcorn. I do hate using that, but technically I'll stick with that because I like scaring people away from trading around earnings. It's gambling. If you are going to do something, you can feel better that you're not a gambler and say, this is an educated trade. Based on everything you just posted with the 4 previous earnings, it stays within the straddle. There's always, it's like saying an iron condor is great until what? It's not. You're living in the past, Wiz. That trade report talked about historically what's going on today, and tomorrow's tomorrow. Exactly. So we're living in the present. I get it. Let's look at the 197 and a half, 195 bull put spread. 36 cents. 1 to 0.17. And then let's look at the 220. Is there 222 and a half? I'm pretty sure there is. Call, sell by. 222 and a half. 225. 88 cents. All right, what the hell's going on here? Call, 220, 222 and a half. Sell the 197 and a half. What the hell's going on here? 197 and a half, sell 195 buy. Okay, 36 cents. Add option, sell buy, call, 222 and a half. Oh, you know what? I have that short call on. I knew I was going to do that. Ignore me for a second. Now we'll get back to reality. I noticed it. This will be the right trade. I have to go to a different account since I have that short call on. Forgive me. There was nothing wrong with E-Trade. There was something wrong with Wiz. All right, here we go. Give me one more second. Boom. Ta-da. Here we go. Okay. So, um, ladies and gentlemen, on your screen, let's walk through it. Step one, eat some popcorn, hang out tomorrow, watch the earnings and the fireworks. Do nothing, sit on your hands. Step two, sell some short calls like I did. I sold the 222 and a half. That's why that trade looked weird because I already have a short call. Step three, wide iron condor. Give it some room to fly, baby. This would need a massive move. It can happen. It absolutely can happen outside of the at the money straddle to hit the uprights of the iron condor. Do you understand that? Let me step through it. The bull put spread, the left upright in the iron condor. I'm selling the 197 and a half put. I'm buying the 195. Bull put spread. That's the basement. Now I'm going to put a roof on it. The right upright in our football trade. I'm selling the 222 and a half call, buying the 225. JJ did say, folks, man, there are, let's scroll down, 78,000 230 calls. Man, I would love a 19-point pop in NVIDIA. I'd love to get blown out of my short 225 and a half calls I sold yesterday. Great problem to have. That's a massive move. Do with that as you wish. Let me grab a screenshot of this. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I do not trade this as an iron condor. I can place this order as an iron condor, all four legs together. You could leg into it if you wanted to. What's that mean? Well, Wiz, it's going up right now. The more premiums in the call side. Let me sell the bear call spread, and it might sell off a little later in the day. I'll add the bull put spread. You can leg into it. Sometimes I get better pricing, maybe a penny on each spread if I do them as two separate trades. All right, so here are your metrics. You are risking 161 to make 89. High probability trade, man, but even ignore that, man. You know how many times I've seen a high probability trade get blown out? The odds of getting eaten by a golden retriever are never zero. So let me grab a screenshot of this. On your screen right now, as I'm taking the screenshot, is the football analogy trade. You cannot get, there's your dotted line, that's the current stock price. The ball can't go out there and out there at the same time. That's why you have two break evens. Okay. So you can add this as a one complete trade. You can not do it. You can do anything like that. If you get filled, manage it as two individual spreads. I usually keep them on one line because I got 5 positions in here, so I like it instead of having 2 spreads, but it's up to you. This I would keep as an iron condor because baby, it's and we could, we'll talk about this, or maybe I'll send out an alert on Thursday. If you get a big move in one direction, up or down, you can roll that other spread up and take some profits and all that type of stuff. But let me let me get this out as an alert real quick, and then I want to add that to my personal account and show you how to do it if you already have an existing position. New NVIDIA weekly iron condor at everyone warning. This is an earnings trade. You have been so advised. Let me grab the images. Go read the report. Oh, wait. There we go. That image. And I think it might have changed. I might have changed the strikes. If you are a member of the Tactical Trade Alert service, this entire 8-page report is posted in the thread. The entire 8-page report. Okay. All right, let me go back to the other account that actually has a short. What's my short call? 222 and a half, right? Go to 84.65, that account. I have the 225, 225 strike, not the 22 and a half. So I will have to add that in this other portfolio. I'll do that. Well, let me add it over in here so I can track it as well. Let me show you what I would do in the model portfolio, because I know Ann is usually in here asking what I would do in the model portfolio. Let's just have um, a 10 in there as a placeholder. I wouldn't do the full 5 grand, man. I would, it's an earnings trade, 20 contracts at 88 cents. Yeah, that is what I would do for the model portfolio. I wouldn't go with a full 5 grand. Any questions on NVIDIA? Again, I got to remind you, man, don't come to me like, I got blown. Hey, man, it's gambling. It's earnings. It's not funny. I've seen people get in trouble for like insider trading and they've lost money, right? Like, man, I thought I heard my buddy earnings were going to be great. I placed this trade and I got my ass handed to me and I got busted for insider trading. I don't know anybody personally. I have heard of stories during my time in Chicago. Raytheon, RTX, the gift that keeps on giving. Sadly, not sadly for our portfolio, right? But sadly for the world. Little rip and pullback. It's filled the gap here. There's the earnings gap, and it came back to half the gap. It really does seem like 210's the hangout. Potential peace in the Middle East, man, that impact this trade a little, but not that much. It does not change my long-term strategic mindset with Raytheon. It can't. But that's, if we hang here and kind of turn up, it's bullish. If we hang here and turn down, next stop's 200 right here. So I'd feel comfortable selling a close to at the money weekly call. Um, there's enough premium in the 212 and a half where I do that at a dollar seven. CBOE. CBOE. Let's open up the 6 month chart because I like this breakout. I told you 300, so, the Mason-Dixon line, resistance, and then oh my God, we're going to go out of business from Kalshi and Poly markets. I am telling you, ladies and gentlemen, what's the silver lining in the Democrats taking the House and Senate? I think Elizabeth Warren's going to crack down on all that Wild West stuff, the gambling, the Kalshis, the Trump teleprompter operator gambling, and Navy or the Delta operator that gambled that, hey, in the next 48 hours, Maduro's going to be arrested type of thing. Dude, you're an idiot. They crack down on the Wild West and get back to the stodgy CBOE, CME, NASDAQ. It's good news. And this will rise again. So I told you that the whole 300, resistance, and then move is bullish. So this is good. Not out of the woods yet, man. I can be completely wrong. I reserve the right to be completely wrong, but uh, anyway, reporter question. Okay, so CBOE, Friday, 307 and a half. What are we at? There's a 307 and a half. That's a lot of We just had earnings, right? Why are the look at the volatility in these options. We're at 307, so we'd look at 307 and a half. It's CBOE. I mean, look, we have 141,000, whoa, 141,000 shares. It's not highly traded, so that's why you're seeing a bid ask that you can, fly a C-17 through. Uh, so the at the money strata would be, what's that, $5 and $9. So 315 to 316 would be the short call. Looking at how we popped through the 300, I mean, recent short-term resistance has, been this 310. Periscope today up to, you know, 311. I wouldn't, if you're aggressive, you sell the 310. I'd do the 312 and a half. And that's still $2.30. That's a lot of premium in that. JP Morgan. Uh, don't like the whole Jamie Dimon leaving and having co-commanding officers. It's a joke. Cowards operate like that. You need a single woman or man in charge with 51% of the vote. It, that's it's in my book, From Sea Level to Sea Level. That's the imperial CEO. Nobody can have. It takes two smart people to be one Jamie Dimon. No. Hell, even at Berkshire, it was Warren Buffett. My buddy Charlie Munger is we're the two guys from the Muppet balcony, but I'm still 51% of it. Um, we had a max profit bull put spread. I like this. I wouldn't put a bull put spread on any financial or I wouldn't do any of that stuff this week with Warsh on Friday. I'd be careful. Let's just do a short call on JP Morgan for the week. It's the biggest threat on the board is a hawkish wash on Friday morning, right? So, and it's so funny because you guys know this. The market is never present. It's always forward looking. It never lives in the moment. NVIDIA earnings after the bell. Boom. What's next? Oh, wash on Friday. The dust will settle and it's always on to the next thing. So, it'll be NVIDIA earnings. We'll Thursday will be NVIDIA Central, and then nobody's going to care by Friday about NVIDIA. It'll be all wash. 353. There is no 353. That's about $3. And 253 8. It's like I guess there's premium in a 360. I would sell the three JP Morgan 360 out the Friday call. Okay. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to go a little longer because I think if you didn't close your Tredge, your bearish Tredge that I sent out last week, and Richard did a great job asking about it. Look at that right there. Richard asked, we delivered, and you had this big violent move or right here, violent move down. We're hanging, man. We're hanging literally at this, 20-day moving average. We're either going to rip, NVIDIA's going to help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only help, and we're going to rip. Everything's great. NVIDIA, the AI thesis is strong. We'll rip. Doesn't matter what Warsh says on Friday, to be honest with you, if NVIDIA knocks the cover off the ball. If NVIDIA is lukewarm to bad and Warsh is hawkish, we will implode. I'm not as super Tredge-ish as I was yesterday. Why? Because of this. I had my bucket of popcorn to watch Besant bring the heat to China and Russia. Not a word. I couldn't believe that was it. I'm like, it's China. Where's the beef? Remember those commercials? So we should still probably get one on. because of what's out here, right? You don't make money. There ain't no broker that lets you trade off the left side of a chart. Where do you make your money? Out here. So if you think something like that's going to happen, it's probably time to Tredge. I would look, yeah, September 18th ain't too bad. Three for me, yeah, I don't Tredge out too far into the future. I used to back in the day, like a month, but that's under like Biden or pre-Trump. Trump is an hour, man. We need like hourly options with Trump. This is just it's a lifetime. 3 weeks is even long to me, to be honest with you. If we're gonna smash sooner rather than later. So I might even go a week inside of that, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, yeah, either, well, God forbid, September 11th. Let's just choose September 11th because that would make sense. Something bad happened on that day too. Never forget. Could you imagine standing at ground zero? Hey, I'm from the future, and in 2025, you're going to elect a Muslim immigrant mayor who hates this country to be the mayor. New Yorkers and New Jerseyans would be like, "Get the fuck, Paulie Walnuts." Well, you were wrong. I'm gonna rip because I don't want to go super long. What are we at? 76.65. 76.65 is right here, September 11th, 17 days. What's that? 74 and 85. 74 and 85. Straddle. Whoop. And of course, the prices went away 76.65. 76.65. 160 bucks, so that's 320. 78.25. 7,500. Now we build. Okay. So we'll look at the bear call spread first. 78.25. Go up to 78.25. 78.30. Rate. You know me, man. I'm a dollar minimum of $1.10. I prefer $1.25. So I'm going to go down to 7,800 because my bias is actually down. So $1.40, love that in a bear call spread, in a credit spread on SPX. Risk in 360 to make 140. 72% probability in that Tredge. What do we do? It's called a credit spread. We're getting paid to do this trade. We're putting a roof all the way up here in the market. I don't even need to show you this chart because 7,800 would be an all-time high. I would love for that to happen. That's why this is called a Tredge. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen, and it's going to serve as the hedge to protect my long-term bullish position. The bottom was 7,500. I will go look here because we have seen 7,500 before. Where are we? 7,500. 7,550 is the 50-day moving average. So there you go, man. 7,500 could be an easy. 7,500 is doable, and it's going to be extremely expensive just to buy that put. So we're not going to do that. $1.50 is even better. So put buy 7,500. It's going to be very expensive. Why is divorce expensive? It's worth it. Boom. 3,150. 3,150 bucks to buy that put. I'm cheap. I'm gonna sell a lower strike put. I go 50 wide on these, the 74.50. Boom. Now we're talking reasonable. This will cost you 555 bucks. So if we rip, Wiz, you were wrong. Peace broke out. China's great. Everything's great. NVIDIA's great. Everything's great. You lose $1,000. That is the cost of doing business. That is your insurance for the next 2.5 weeks. Don't want to risk $1,000 to ensure your long-term bullish positions against a little minor collision? Don't do it. Okay. But if we do slam down to that 50-day moving average, folks, that's a sneeze, man. In the next 2.5 weeks, if we sneeze, look at these over here, man. Bad NVIDIA, bad Warsh, whatever else bad. This is a high probability trade, in my opinion. But when you look at this, there's only 14% probability of that occurring. That's ones and zeros on a screen, man. That's why you're at Top Gun Options. We use our thinking brain. We just don't look at percentages. We look at the whiteboard. We look at our radar scope, and our radar scope shows clouds ahead. Let me grab a screenshot of this, and then yeah, we can take a look at maybe putting a ratio. I don't think anything bad's going to happen after he meets with Xi. The bad should have happened yesterday. Besson should have brought the heat and said, hey, man, we're going hard after China. They should have played good cop, bad cop. If that was the attempt to do that, it failed and it sucked. Besson, for all my credit of the guy, is not a bad cop. He should have brought the heat yesterday. China, we're declaring war, economic war on China. I remember Trump the first term. I remember phase one trade deals. I remember. We made a ton of cash in, thank you, in Trump the first. That was awful. So I don't think I think the Xi summit say, oh, we're great friends and, love it. I don't see any bad out of that. Right? I mean, the only one of these bad, wasn't the first meeting with Kim Jong Un kind of, stormed out or somebody left or whatever it was. I don't see Trump storming out of a Xi meeting. Could he? Sure. You could throw a hedge on around the Tredge on around that. I don't. All right. I don't want to go too long, but yes, before Richard or Ann or anybody asks, you could ratio this. What do you mean? I don't know. Let's do 5 in the bear call spread to bring in a little bit more cash. Hey, Wiz, look at this. I'm getting paid $5. Hell, that's not even a Starbucks anymore. If I do it like this, I get paid. Okay, well, go look at the risk. Well, I'm risking $2,500 to make double that. It's actually not a bad looking trade. But let's go up 3 in the bear put spread, the debit spread. Now we're gonna $1,500 of insurance. That's the cost of this trade to potentially make 14 grand. You're risking 4 to potentially make 14. Why the silence? Yesterday, before Bessent's limp wrist, I shouldn't say limp wristed, yeah, I'll leave that alone. Before his weak attempt at Operation Epic Outlaw, Economic Outlaw, whatever, Outcast, I would have done this one in the model portfolio. Like, oh, they're declaring war, economic war with anybody who trades with Iran. I would have done this one yesterday. I'm glad I saved this to today. I would not do that one. I would not do that ratio is what I'm talking about. Because I would have done this yesterday if at 2 o'clock he really brought the heat and I'd be like, oh man, China, hey, they're going to fire back. Welcome to another trade war like Trump the first. I would have done this one yesterday. I would not do this one. Does that make sense? This is a tick. This is a trader in command moment. I'm telling you what I would have done yesterday versus today, and I would not do this today. I don't know. You do whatever you do. I'm not giving you individual investment advice. I'm talking to hundreds of people. We're on YouTube right now, so I'm not. You sign for your own airplane. I do not sign for your jet. I do not sign for your portfolio. You guys, that makes sense, right? And this is why I don't go too far out on my Tredges. Why? Because this is a world of time. Between yesterday and today, Besant, man, and now I just saw the Canadian whoever, Canadian finance minister announces response to U.S. tariffs. This might be why the SPX gave a lot of the opening back. Um, so, all right, let me blast this out. New, what was that? Sept 11, SPX bearish. Well, it's a Tredge, it's bearish. And new weekly short calls. All right, as I'm posting this, any other questions, concerns? Oh, by the way, smart remarks you can keep to yourself. Nah, we're at Top Gun Options. I love smart remarks. You can give them, you can take them. All right, so there's the alert right there out in the hunter's thread. All right, man. Tomorrow we got some psychedelic stuff man. I I have to filter out a lot of the psychedelic stuff, man, because I'm getting inundated. Like, where you been for 5 years, folks? Like phone blowing up and this and invest and hey, another private company whiz, can you give us there's it's getting to be right. Be careful what you pray for. You just might get it type of thing. I mean, I'm thrilled and everything like that, but the commercialization that I knew was going to happen is here. And that thank God we have Sacred Warrior Fellowship to stick with the spiritual aspect of these compounds, man, because it really is getting to that. Wait, I can do this between yoga and Carline and be healed. If that's all you truly have is that hour and a half to take care of your complete 40 years of problems, maybe. Or how about you throw on some sweatpants and let's go hang out this weekend in ceremony? We do have a ceremony coming up this weekend at Sacred Warrior Fellowship. 9. We had one guy try. He didn't. He's moving to October. So we have 9 veterans, first responders, and family members sitting in ceremony this weekend. Love it. Love it. So excited. So, um, okay. What else is going on? Compass Sep 20 call. Buying? Let's go look at comps. What's the question on Palantir? I haven't looked at Palantir today. Talked about Palantir and Solo AI for a long time yesterday. Nice. What's Compass doing? A lot of call activity. What strike was that? The 20? I'm telling you, man. Yeah, look at that. Nice. That's a nice big buyer right there. Out to September too. What's going on? That's wow. Um, I like that. Thank you, Jenny, for that intel. What's going on with Palantir? No clue. I don't know. We go watch the AI brief from yesterday. Yeah, Jenny, that's great intel, man. I'm gonna go look. That's a lot. I mean, look at that. There is no 1,000. Hey, it's not a lot of money to be honest with you. So when you're paying, what are those calls valued at? You know, but it is money. But somebody that's a that's a lotto ticket, right? And that's also what you know it's 3 weeks away. So somebody's rolling the bones that Compass is going to be above 30 in a couple weeks. 30, 20 in a couple weeks. Would love to see it. That might be, folks. This might be the Definium moment, right? Been waiting for for Compass to have their Definium moment, and I told you they will. So maybe somebody knows something I don't. Level, 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 pop. Level, level, level. So, time for Compass to get its Definium moment, CMPS. That'd be nice. I mean, I guess we did level pop, but we need more than that. So thanks for the intel. I'm gonna text my little network and see what we got going on here. So all right, guys, good stuff, man. All eyes on NVIDIA tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting, man. So buckle up. Already sent all the trades alert out, and I will get the replay posted. Yeah, exactly, Jenny. We did see that, and then a tie is it still sitting there in its arbitrage hover? Yeah, look at that. That's so funny, man. Just sitting here, it'll be sitting here in this in between here. Look at that, 6 million shares trading hands. So funny to see that. If you have a ton of money, you can be in here doing that, but you need like millions and millions of dollars to be able to make off pennies, right? A 2 cent move type of thing. But people do it. Big firms do that. All right, guys, I got to go. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you're hedged. Fights on. Namaste. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers. Wiz out.